Hey, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, be sure to ring that bell so you get notified for any more videos like this. If you're here today, it is because you are ready to complete the journey of learning the blues arpeggios up and down the neck. You've already got them under your fingers in position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, and now we are ready to complete the cycle. We're going to be up in position 5, learning the dominant 7 arpeggios for our 1, 4, and 5 chords. And today we're going to be working in the key of A, just like we have been this whole time. All right, so let's recap the format really quick. We're learning in every position each arpeggio in 2 different octaves. We take the time to learn it in the lower octave first, then we'll play around with it a little bit over a backing track, and then we'll come back, we'll learn the higher octave, and then we will put it all together. All right, so let's jump right into it. First things first, what do I mean by position 5? If you think of position 1, what do you do? It's commonly thought of as the position where your hand lies on the guitar so that your root note is the first finger on the E string. That's position 1. So position 5 is connected to position 1. It's playing in that key, but where your pinky or your ring finger, depending what feels good to you, is resting on that root note on the low E string. You can also think of it in terms of the 5th position minor pentatonic, if you wish, which is right here in the key of A. Because we've been working up the fretboard through this series, we are going to focus on this upper area of the neck. So we're thinking of it as we've climbed all the way up the neck rather than we were in position 1 and we're just falling down one position, though it's worth bearing in mind that everything that you learn can be applied that way too. Okay, so let's jump right into it. For our A7 arpeggio, played in the 5th position, we're going to come all the way up here to the 17th fret, which is where our A rests on the E string, and we're going to play this shape. Right, and you've played that position several times before. We aren't learning any new shapes in this position. We are simply recycling shapes that we've already learned. So we've got our root on the 6th string. We've got our 3rd, a C sharp, on the A string on the 16th fret. We've got our 5th on the D string on the 14th fret. And then we've got the 7th, which is a G on the 17th fret of the D string. Now, for our 4 chord, we're basically just taking that shape and moving it up 1 string set. So it's the same thing. It gets different in the upper octave, but for this lower part of it, the shape is exactly the same. A7, D7. Right? So D on the 17th fret of the A string, F sharp, our 3rd, 16th fret of the D string, A, which is our 5th on the 14th fret of the G string, C, which is our 7th on the 17th fret of the D string. Okay, and finally, our 4 chord. So this is that shape where we're starting on the 3rd. We've got our G sharp in the bass on the 16th fret. That's what we're playing for our E7 arpeggio in the lower register of the 5th position. So our 3rd, G sharp, 16th fret on the E string. a B, which is our 5th on the 14th fret of the A string, a D, which is our 7th, is going to be the 17th fret of the A string, and then E, which is our root, is the 14th fret of the D string. All right, so we've got A, D, and E7. Let's play with those over backing track. Right on. So let's move into the upper register. So our A7 is going to be played like this. And if you want to add the octave on the top, you can, which would be. So our root in A is on the 14th fret of the G string. The 3rd is on the 14th fret of the B string. That's a C sharp. Up on the 17th fret is our 5th, which is an E. And then the 7th, which is our G, is the 15th fret of the high E. So again, let's move on to the 4 chord. So for this shape, we're going to start on the 5th. So this A, the same starting point as our upper register 1 chord. So 14th fret on the G string is an A. That's our 5th of a D7. We can come up here and hit this C on the 17th fret of the G string. Then we grab our root, a D, 15th fret of the B string. That's the only note on this string in this shape. F sharp is our 3rd, 14th fret of the E string. And then you can come grab this A on the 17th fret of the high E string, because that's the 5th of a D7. So all in all, that shape goes. All right, let's move on to our E7 shape. And this begins, 14th fret of the D string is our E. 13th fret of the G string is our G sharp, which is our 3rd. Three frets up from that, we're going to get our 5th, which is a B. So 16th fret of the G string. Then our 7th is the D, which we played in our last arpeggio as well. 15th fret of the B string. Okay, so that shape goes. All right, so in our upper registers here, we have A, A7, D7, and E7. Let's play with those over the backing track. So now let's put those shapes all together so that we have one larger shape that takes us more or less across all of the strings. So here's our A7. Here's our D7. And here's our E7. There you have it. You have now learned your 1, 4, and 5 chord dominant 7 arpeggios in 5 positions across the neck. You can start repeating them now to cover, you know, all the ground that we didn't quite cover up here. We were playing an A. So like I said, you could be playing that if you're in first position pentatonic stuff and a D7 is coming around. This is why this is helpful. Now you don't need to think to yourself, oh God, I got to jump up to the 10th fret. You have a D right here that you can play either or you know, that was sloppy on my part, but the point is you should feel so much more comfortable in your ability to target chord tones without making big jumps around the neck now, no matter where you are. I think if you practice in each position for 10 minutes a day to really get these under your fingers, you're going to feel so comfortable anywhere on the neck in no time. You know, give it a month or two and you're going to have totally busted through some of the fretboard knowledge blockers that you had before. All right, this was fun. Congratulations to you on having the commitment to work through each position individually. It's not the most exciting stuff, but this is exactly the type of thing that once you internalize it and you get it to the point where you're not thinking actively about it while you play, it's just part of your instincts and the knowledge that you can call upon in the moment. You know, this is the stuff that makes you a better player, that's going to make you stand out, that's absolutely going to help you grow. So congratulations on that. If this was helpful to you, please do subscribe to the channel. Please do like the video or drop a comment below just to let me know it was helpful. I love hearing from you guys. Until next time, happy playing.